Hi, there is Bibi Cameron here, and as I said in my previous video, I'm giving away this whole collection of Nuvo Aqua Flow Pens, and I also have, at the same time, a giveaway for this glass mat in my blog. So all you have to do is to click in the link below this video to enter the giveaways. Okay, so now it's time for do a little bit of stamping, and I have this stamp set called Butterfly Basics from Stampin' Up. I really love this flower here, and I'm going to stamp this flower using Pear Pizzazz ink. You can use any light ink you have, honestly, to do this, but the reason because I'm going to use this ink is because I want the leaves of the flower to be green. So I'm using a green ink. And there you have the flowers. I'm going to show you this closer, and you can see how beautiful this image is. I made a very similar composition for a card that I post in my blog. Is this one here, and for that card I use Stampin' Up inks. They are water-based inks, so any water-based inks are going to work for this technique. However, I want to show you how I made this using the Aqua Flow pens. So I'm going to start by using this color, which is like kind of lilac, and I'm going to apply it on a petal like so. This is real time, okay? I'm not going to speed the camera. I have some complaints with my last video that people say to me, Bibi, that's too long. I cannot spend 2 hours adding color to a flower. You can spend a couple of minutes, and I'm going to show you, and I'm going to prove that with this flower. So to apply this technique, all you have to do is to apply the ink in one of the petals. Now I'm going to grab aqua brush. These are Nuvo Aqua brushes. One has a very thin tip and the other one a quite bit thicker tip. I need to make sure that it's clean, and I'm going to get that ink from that petal, which is still wet. And I'm going to skip one petal, and I'm going to apply ink to the next petal. Not that one, but this one here. Like so. Then I have to look for another petal because I cannot add color in that one. I cannot add color in 2 petals in a row, okay? This is a rule to apply this technique. I need to allow that ink to dry before applying ink to a next petal. So I'm going to apply ink here and here. And then I'm going to go to the other flower, and I'm going to do the same. And now I'm going to speed the camera a little bit because you don't need to see the same process in the other flower. It's exactly the same. Okay, so now I'm going to clean my aqua painter like so, and I'm going to pass just the wet brush over some part of the leaves just to blend a little bit of that green ink which is already on the leaves. But it's the same thing. I'm not going to pass the wet brush over 2 leaves in a row or 2 leaves that are close to each other, because what I'm going to do if I do that is blending them together, and I will completely lose the shape of those leaves. So now I'm going to grab a clear block, and I'm going to put just a tiny drop of this ink on that clear block, and I'm going to use it from there. And then what I do is just put color on those petals that I didn't put color before. I'm also using 2 kind of purple colors here. One is very vibrant and very strong, and the other one is more matte. It's different. So what I'm going to do here is adding a little bit of that vibrant ink also on that other petals that I have colored before, just to blend that and get a different color, just to integrate all the colors. But I'm doing exactly the same here that I did in my previous video showing a layering color technique. And if you notice, I'm using too little ink and too little water to do this. Now it's time to add color to the lips. I'm going to use these two colors from the collection of these Nuvo Aqua Flow Pens. And I'm going to drop just a little bit of color there, and using an aqua brush, I'm going to get that color there, and I'm going to try to apply that color all over that area there. But I'm going to do exactly the same I did with the petals. I just work in one leaf or one stem at the same time. And while they dry, I'm going and work in another parts of the image. You can always add more detail, but grabbing a little bit of water and pass it over the petals of the flowers by starting making like circles in the center of the petal and just spreading that in towards the edges of the petal so that you get that beautiful dark edge on each petal. So I like that, so that's what I'm doing here, adding some shadows and some extra details, but this image is done. It's just I want to add some more extra details. It took me 7 minutes to add color to this image. It could be even less if I do it concentrated in the image, but when I'm making a video I have to be thinking if the camera is working and that my baby is not screaming and all the things you have to be thinking, and it's really, for me in my case, quite a bit complicated. So I ended up making the video super long, but I don't want to do that, okay? I don't want to show you a long and boring video. So another thing I want to show you, if you grab, for example, this brown color, you can also add shadows to this image. And you will see how nicely this is going to blend just by adding a little bit of that brown ink here and there. I'm not going to do the whole image, don't worry. It's just to show you that you can also do that. Okay, just using another colors and layering on top of the color you just used before. Now I'm going to show you another thing you can do with these pens. Is just create some splatters of ink on the watercolor paper or cardstock. And I put just a drop of ink with the pen and apply a lot of water with this aqua brush, and then I'm going just to splatter the ink like so. And to finish, I'm going to add some Nuvo drops. These are glitter ones, but there is also crystal and jewel drops. The names are quite difficult for me to say, so maybe you can see here in the screen the name. Okay, so I thought these flowers are looking super nice, but they can look even better by applying a little bit of the ink from the red apple pen in the collection of Nuvo Aqua Flow Pens. And if you see, by applying that ink, mix it with a little bit of water, it really makes a difference. You know, I cannot leave the things alone. I just go and go and go and go. And I show you all the options, and you just can decide what it works for you. So now I can say this image is finished, and now I'm going to stamp a sentiment using the Misty. When stamping on watercolor paper, sometimes I cannot get the image quite right, so with the Misty I can stamp over and over. but this time the image looks quite nice, like that. So that's it. I'm going to paste this panel on a white piece of thick whisper white cardstock and I'm done. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned because I'm going to show you how to make these flowers in the next video. Thank you very much for watching and happy crafting. Bye!